We're going to take a look at something here, and I'm using my GoPro where I can't see the screen. This is an older GoPro, so I'm doing this kind of blind, but I trust the right angle on this. First of all, don't worry about my hair, okay? No nasty comments on my hair. I did the trifecta of two-wheeled, the two-wheeled trifecta today. We rode dirt bikes from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock in the morning, and then I came back and geared up. By 11 o'clock, I was on the downhill mountain bike slope, and I rode for 3 hours there, 4 laps, as hard as I could go. Man. Then I came back, and I got something to eat, and I went out on a pedal bike ride. So it has been a long, physically exhausting day. And I will say this, is that for me, I made a depressing video in the last one, where, I'm taking a break and everything. I was still taking a break, but for me, hard physical exercise is the best antidepressant that I know of. I get done doing something like that, dirt bike riding, mountain bike riding, even a good hour and a half pedal bike ride, and I just feel so much better. I feel like I have accomplished something, I'm one of those guys that I have to accomplish something or I'm not happy. I can't go to sleep. And if I don't accomplish something every day, it's just, it doesn't sit well. Let's say that. But doing something like that, hard physical exercise, is so good for me. So I know a lot of people say on my channel, slow down on the dirt bikes and slow down on the mountain bikes. But I'm telling you, I feel so much better afterwards. And that's my hair, man. That's 3 kinds of helmet hair. All right, forget all that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to look at neck relief on this guitar. There's 3 ways to measure neck relief, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to compare them here. And we're going to see how the accuracy of each one of them compares. The first way, the easiest way, the thing that you can do in the field, neck relief, first of all, is the bow of the neck. So it's the way the neck curves this way. This is a back bow, where it's got a hump in the middle. Okay, here's a real bow. That's relief. This is back bow. Okay, pretty simple. In the field, quick and dirty way to do is hold the string down at the 1st fret, hold the string down at the body. It doesn't matter if you use the 12th fret or the 13th fret or the 14th fret. It really doesn't matter. Use something over the heel right here. Don't use something up here, because the neck relief isn't going to matter over the heel. I like to use the 12th fret, which is actually the 13th fret. I like to use the 13th fret, 1st fret, and then I split the difference and I look at the 6th fret. It's not critical, 5th, 6th, 7th, whatever, but 6 is halfway in between. So that's what I do. And just, you can use, it doesn't cost anything to do this, so you might as well check several strings, okay? I usually just start at the low E for a real quick one. I hold it down with my pinky, and I come over here and I tap it. And I look at that tap, okay? I'll also come over here sometimes if I'm really trying for a really low neck relief. I'll come over and look at like the D string and check that one. In my experience, the relief always increases on the treble side. And maybe that's because I'm using this method to do that. I don't know. I don't worry about it, but that's why I go. But that's true on mandolins, banjos, guitars, everything that I measure relief on. That's the quick and dirty way. The disadvantages of the quick and dirty way are that if you push the string down here, you're going to bend the string up, okay? So you're going to push down like this, and the string is actually going to come up off the fret. So here's your fret. Your string's actually going to come up a little bit, and you're not going to get an actual true measurement. But I don't care at this point. All I'm trying to do is get the relief down pretty low to where I'm just sure that it's not backbowed. So I want so little relief that I can just tell that it's not backbowed. Okay. Second way is to get a really good quality straight edge, and you lay it here on top of the fret. I don't know where you're going to put it. I put it in the middle because that's your average measurement. You set it down here, and if you hold it up like this to the light, and it's really, really handy to have a backlight. You can see the light. Now, you can see the light. The big advantage of this method is that the strings don't come up, and it's also a nice, accurate straight edge, and you can take feeler gauges. And you can do what's called a pass or fail test. And basically, you get your feeler. I don't have a 04 in here, do I? It's up there on the board. Let's take an 06, okay? So I'm going to lay it down here. And I'm going to come out here to the 6th fret. And I'm going to push this feeler gauge under the string like this. And it passes. So that is actually a nice, precise measurement. So that's nice to know. 6 passed. Now you can go, let's see what the actual relief on this neck is according to this. I think this is the most accurate measurement. There's no question. But if you're in a guitar shop or you're setting up someplace on the road, you can't carry this in your back pocket, you know? And if you just want to do a quick and dirty test, hold the string down at the 1st fret, hold the string down here at the 13th fret, reach over here and tap it with your little finger, and all you need to see is some clearance. If you want to get more accurate, use your straight edge. Yeah, no question. So we're going to take an 8, and I'm going to come over here to the 6th fret again. Still passing, but I feel a little bit of friction now. Well, that's good to know because I would like for this to be less than 6 thousandths of an inch. Here's an 11. This gauge set is missing the 10. 6th fret again. And 11 has got a lot of friction. I would call it 10. So this neck has 10 thousandths of an inch of relief on it, which, okay, cool. I can reduce the relief. Now, the reason I'm going to reduce the relief on this guitar is it's got a little bit too much. 10 thousandths is a pretty standard measurement. I personally, you could easily go down to about 5 thousandths of an inch. And in the process of that, it's going to lower the action. You really shouldn't use the relief to adjust the action. But in this case, the relief is a little bit out of spec. It's a little bit on the high end of that. I wouldn't want any more than 10 thousandths of an inch. 15 is too much. It makes the neck. I have whole videos on this. Go search for neck relief. Why I don't like neck relief. But it'll make the middle of the neck feel hard, stiffer to play. It will not increase the buzz resistance up the neck. In fact, it will reduce it. Again, go see my videos on neck relief, and I go through this, and I take 1,000 measurements, and it's not just my opinion. It is physical, quantitative data. Okay? All right. I've look up relief and look up nodes where I talk about this. So, straight edge is the most accurate. There's no question. There's another one like this, and this is the notched straight edge. And what this is going to do is read the fingerboard. That's useful in some cases. It's not that useful in this case. It's useful when you're doing refretting mostly. And before you start refretting like a 70s or a non-adjustable, you can read the fingerboard. And so it's a useful piece of information. But when you're playing the guitar, you're not playing on the fingerboard, you're playing on the frets. So it's really more useful to see what is the relief of the frets. So, but let's lay this on here and let's just see what we get here. Stu Mac gauge, I mean, this thing's the bomb, you know? Get it on there. There it is. There we go. Set it on there. I'm going to let it balance for a second. And we're going to see how the fingerboard relief compares to the neck relief here. So here's my 8 and my 11. 6th fret. 8's got a little bit of friction. I don't think the 11 is going to go in this case. No, it's not. So what this tells me is I've got a little bit more relief in the frets than I do on the fingerboard. So just a little, I mean, 1,000ths of an inch. So that's useful information. Well, there we go. So, one thing, I need to do the last one. I forgot to do this. I skipped over this one. I was so excited about using my ruler. To actually measure it with the string, I'm going to put a capo on here. Sorry about that. I should have done this first, but I got excited about using the ruler there. You know, put a capo on the 1st fret and just get it snug right on the fret. Take your feeler gauges. And let's just do the 8 and 11 now. I'm going to put the neck up here on my shoulder so I can see the light. And no, it's not really going to bend the neck any more than it was sitting on that sandbag. So hold it down here at the 13th. Come up here to the 6th, which is here. And I've been measuring the D string. And this says 8. It says 8 doesn't quite clear. So there's a little bit of a difference between this. Maybe 2,000ths of an inch difference between the straight edge and the string test. And in fact, it's actually lower with the string. which I thought it would have been higher because I'm pushing it. So I'm actually getting less relief pushing the string down there. Let's see what it is at the low E. 13th fret, 6th fret. Just pushing the 8 just a little bit. Still okay. Let's see if I have a 6 on this. I do. I have a 6. Play a clearance. So it's 8. I'm pretty confident that it's 8 using the string. And I'm getting 10 with the straight edge. So, you know, how much difference is 2/1000 of an inch, really? Yeah, the humidity is going to change tomorrow. The neck relief is going to change. It's not that critical. So, also, the straight edge comes up onto these frets, and it's possible that it might actually be holding it up a little bit. Let's take a look and see real quick. Let's hold it up to here. I'm going to hold it up to the light, and I'm going to look right here at this area and see if it's clearing the frets right there. And it is. It is just a little bit. So that's where we're getting some of our discrepancy, is it's holding itself up here on the frets because it has a little bit of relief, and this is where it touches. From here, it actually touches here. So your high point is right here and here. And when I'm using the string technique, I'm pushing it to the 13th. So I could easily go back here to the 14th fret, 15th fret, and the 1st fret. And see, the only reason I don't do that is because it's too long of a stretch right there. And it does look like a little bit more relief. So it matters as to where you measure the relief as well as how you measure the relief. And that's why I'm getting differences with this straight edge. If this straight edge was just a little bit shorter and I'm not about to go cut my $40 Stu Mac straight edge. You know, Stu Mac makes a lot of great tools. I was kind of critical of the nut slotting ruler, but things like this from Stu Mac are absolutely awesome. I have a lot of Stu Mac tools. I just don't like every single one of them, you know. So if this thing was about that much shorter, I bet you I would get a better measurement. I bet the two measurements would just about pretty much equal each other. And what I'm getting at here is that I'm holding it at the 1st fret and the 13th fret here. If you move in a couple frets on each side, you're going to get less relief right here, obviously, because you're getting closer and closer to doing a 2-fret span. So if I fret it on this fret and I fret it on this fret so that the string is contacting here and here, it's not going to have any relief at all because that's how much it's going to be fret height the whole way. So the closer in your fingers get, then the less the relief is going to get, and that's the problem. That's why we're getting a difference between the strings and the straight edge in this case. So, but in any case, I'm getting 8/1000 of an inch, 10/1000 of an inch. It can go down a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and adjust the relief down just a little because this owner wants just a little bit lower action. But his action is already 90/1000 of an inch. I'm a little bit reluctant to go down there and adjust the saddle. Saddle. You people that keep criticizing the way I talk. 92/1000 of an inch. I mean, that's really standard. That's a very standard action. And I know this from setting up guitars for 9 years at Kaufman Camp, where I did 40, 50 guitars in a week. And I would get instant feedback from people, you know, how's that? Oh, that's great, you know. That's how I set that. So I'm reluctant to drop it down, but I don't mind adjusting the relief because that's an easy thing to adjust. Once I lower that saddle, if I get it too low, it's going to have to come back up with a new saddle. So we're just going to take just a little bit of a tweak. I've got all these videos on how to do truss rod adjustments, but once again, this is how I do it on a Martin, where it goes through the sound hole, which is great because this is an easy technique. Put your elbow down here to hold the body of the guitar, put a sandbag underneath it here, push down on the nut, not the headstock, at the nut, and just pre-stress that neck a little bit. And you can see the strings moving as you do this. You're just pre-stressing it, and we're going to turn it about that much. If you are doing a truss rod adjustment for the first time, always loosen the nut first. And you do that so that you can make sure it moves and you can get a feel for the way that nut moves. I've already adjusted this one before. This is basically my truss rod nut. I've had this neck off, I've lubed the nut, I know this guitar, so I just went straight to the tightening part. And I didn't go much, I went, what, 1/8 of a turn? So let's see what happened to the action. This is 90 thousandths of an inch. And we are like 90 thousandths of an inch. So I dropped it 2. Let's see how we got now. Let's take an 8. I'd like to get a 6, you know. Let's take an 8. We're going to come in through here so you can see. And boom, it's touching. And that is 6. So we got our relief down. Let's look at the quick and dirty method now just to compare. Hold the D string down. I'm going to hold it down. I'm going to hold it down at the 14th fret, okay? And I still have a little bit to go. I still got clearance here. So you could crank it just a tiny bit more. As long as there's some, you're good. It's not in straight. Push these strings out of the way. There it is. Wiggle that truss rod, make sure it's in there. That's like what, a 1/16 of a turn? I mean, yeah, that's good. That's about. I tightened down the nut on these, and they're pretty tight. Here's 6 thousandths. I bet 6 doesn't quite clear, but I can see air. So if 6 doesn't clear, then I know it's 4, because it's not 2. 2 is almost nothing. There. Zero 3. That's close enough. Let's try 6 and 3. Okay. Quick and dirty way again. Hold it down up here. Come up here. Yeah. 6 doesn't quite clear, but almost. 5, 6. 3. 3 thousandths of an inch. That's as low as I would go on the thing. It is. Let's put the straight ons in. I'm double checking for your listening and dancing pleasure. 6 doesn't go. 6 does not go. 3 is pretty tight. It's 3. Yeah, 3. 3 thousandths of an inch neck relief. Let's see what to do. And now this is an easy thing for him to do. If he decides that he wants more bounce off the strings or something, he can easily go in and increase the relief, which is really a bad move. Because you really want it as low as you can get it. Again, go watch my videos on neck relief. Why I don't like neck relief, and I measure a guitar just like this, and I show you how the fret clearance changes with the relief, and it's pretty interesting. We are below 90 thousandths, and I would guess probably about 85 or 88, something like that, just for fun. Here's 84. That's 84, and I got just a hair of clearance, so like I said, 85 thousandths of an inch. So I dropped it down 10 thousandths of an inch by playing with the truss rod a little bit. Again, I'm not adjusting the action with the truss rod. I'm simply bringing the truss rod back into, I'm making it wiggle within the range of parameters. You guys know what parameters are, right? You know what parameters are. Parameters are the range in which you can move, and you have wiggle room within that. So my parameters for neck relief are 10 thousandths of an inch to 2 thousandths of an inch. And anywhere in there, I'll tweak it a little bit to get a certain feel, a certain action that I want. And that's perfectly legal in my book. So there we go. So what we showed, I think what we showed, is that both methods are pretty accurate. The main thing is this. If you're going to use numbers for yourself, You can use whatever technique you want and just be consistent with it. I didn't find a significant difference between fretting the string. Just don't smash the string down to the fingerboard. Just touch it on the fret. That's all you got to do is make a straight edge here. That's all you got to do. You can do it a quick, dirty check. You can do that in a guitar shop. You can do that at a festival. You can do that anywhere somebody hands you a guitar. You can do the relief check real quick. And if you want to be more precise, like if you're going to exchange numbers with people, then lay a straight edge out there. But be careful, which frets it stops at. Because if it stops up here in the 14th or 15th fret, you're on the high spot, especially if you have more relief in the neck. And it's going to change, not exponentially, but it's going to change non-linearly as you bring that relief up. So that's probably why I instinctively like to do it here at the 13th fret, because then I knew I was catching the neck and not high frets up in here. Okay, makes sense? Let me say that again. When you do it at the 13th fret, like I said right from the very beginning, you're doing it at the edge of the neck relief. So if neck relief adjusts in a range from here to here, I'm checking it from each end of the range. But if you check it out here, you're checking it past the range that the neck relief actually affects. Just a little. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. It's 0.02 of an inch difference. That's insignificant. And the fact is that when I got neck relief both ways, and I put the straight edge on here, I could still see a sliver of light. When I fret it here, and fret it here, I can still see a sliver of light. It's got relief in it. It's not backbowed. We drop the action, mission accomplished. Okay? This would be easy for the owner to reverse, anybody to reverse for some reason. But it's a bad thing to do because all that's going to do is make the guitar play harder in here. It's going to increase the buzzing possibility right in this region of the fingerboard. So I have been meaning to do that video for a long time, compare those techniques, and I was going to do this on this guitar, and I thought, man, I really need to go get the camera and do this, even though I said I wasn't going to make any more videos. This is one that I needed to do, so there it is. So, whew, it's a lot of fast talking. Man, I'm tired. I'm gonna go ride again tomorrow, though. I like to ride just on the side. You can get out of here if you don't want to listen to me talk. I like to ride. I like to do hard exercise 3 days in a row. First of all, when I race dirt bikes, a lot of times you'd have a 2-day enduro. So you'd ride 60 miles the first day, you ride 100, and you'd ride 100 miles the second day. And I tell you what, second day could be very brutal, especially at the end of the second day when you were so tired. And if you don't practice doing your activity when you are tired, you're going to find some surprises when you have to do it. So in other words, I like to go out and ride when I'm tired because I can't use my strength, and I have to actually use really, really good technique because I can't use strength. My hands hurt. I can't grab the bars. I can't do this kind of thing. I have to really ride, ski, whatever, with finesse. And I think when you do it when you're tired, you really learn what that finesse feels like. And it's the same thing playing guitar. If you're going to Winfield and you're going to be there for 7 days and you're going to be jamming for 7 days, you're going to find out things about day 3 that you grip too hard. The first time I went to Winfield was 1994. I jammed nonstop for a week. On the drive home, it felt like I had a wristwatch on, and I had tendonitis. And that's when I found out that I gripped too hard, trying to get the tone out of the guitar. And you can get by with it for a day or two, playing in a small festival. But when you go to a big festival like Winfield and you're doing it for 7 days, 8 days, 10 days if you show up early, you can jam a lot. And if you don't have really good technique, soft technique, you're going to pay the price. It took me probably 3 or 4 weeks before I could really comfortably play guitar again after that. I got tendonitis in this wrist, and it felt like I was wearing, wristwatch, which I don't wear watches, you see. And it just felt like I had that band around my wrist. So, same thing. So I find that when I really push myself and do the hard exercise for 3 days, The first day I'm tired. The second day is brutal. I can barely move. But at the end of the second day, I figured out stuff and I remember things and I've got my finesse back. And by the third day, I'm good to go. If I can survive it to day 3, I can make it for 7 days. No sweat. No sweat. I'm sweating like crazy. You got to stay hydrated. You got to keep food in your body. But if you can make it to the third day, it really pays dividends in long-term endurance. That's just a little bit of friendly advice. So I'm going to go ride again tomorrow. Gonna pack up 3 guitars, ship them out tomorrow. See you later.